Hi beauties, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Y'all, it's been like 2 weeks since I filmed a YouTube video and I feel kind of lost. But I am so excited because today I'm going to be doing a full face of high-end makeup versus drugstore makeup. I literally went through my makeup and I picked out like 2 of everything, 2 primers, 2 bronzers from a drugstore and high-end beauty brand. I try to pick products that I don't really use often so that I can start using some of my other makeup more. But, you know, some of my favorites are in here. I'm sorry, you guys. I cannot get rid of them. I did want to give a big shout out to my girl, Just Sheet Mask, Miss Amy Marie, over on Instagram. She did give me the idea for this video, and I am so excited. I'm going to turn it into a little series, high-end versus indie makeup and all that stuff. So I'm very excited. Thank you so much, girlfriend, for this amazing idea. I'm also going to leave her Instagram and everything linked down below, so you guys, please go make sure to go check her out. Before we jump into this video, you guys, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot, and I really do appreciate it. And without further ado, let's get into the makeup. Alrighty, beauties. Now, I did go ahead and put in some of my Makeuprevolution soap brow. I have been loving this stuff, and I don't have any high-end soap brow, so I just went ahead and put in some of that. This side is going to be our drugstore side, and this side is going to be our high-end side. So for this side, I'm going to go in with the brows first, like I always do. I'm going to go in with my Tarte Sketch and Set. I have been in love with this brow pencil lately. Every time that I do my brows now, I'm like using this thing, and I am beyond obsessed. It is so bomb. So as you guys know, or if you've been paying attention, I'm doing my eyes a little bit differently now. I have been using a soap brow the past couple of weeks, and I've kind of fallen in love with it. At first I hated the way that my brows looked with it, but now I'm kind of like obsessed. So now what I do is I pretty much just run the soap brow through it. And then I take like a brow pencil or some brow pomade, and I just make some hair-like strokes through it. Make it look like a really fluffy, not natural brow, but a filled-in brow. And then, of course, I take my concealer and I just clean it up like I always used to do, and I will always do, because I just love that cleaned up, like, sharp brow look. That's just my preference. Before I go in with any concealer and clean it up, we're going to go ahead and go on with the drugstore side. I am going in with the Wet n Wild Brow Sessive Brow Pencil. I have not given this much of a chance. I've tried it a few times and it wasn't very pigmented, so that's why I haven't really given it much of a chance, but I wanted to give it another shot today and see how it did with the soap brows, because I have not tried it for soap brows yet. I feel like this pencil just doesn't put off much pigment, but maybe it's just me, or maybe I'm just using it wrong. But for me, I just feel like it's too hard of a pencil and it doesn't really put off enough pigment that I need. Alrighty, y'all, I'm just taking the back of this spoolie and running it through the brows one more time, and it looks like it's distributing the color a little bit more evenly now, which I like. I'm going to go clean up my brows off camera, but I did want to show you the concealers that we'll be using today. I'll be using my Tarte Shape Tape on the high-end side and my Covergirl Trublend Undercover Concealer on the drugstore side. Alrighty, beauties, if you know me or you've watched my channel before, you know I like to start with my eyes after my brows. So over on the high-end side, we are going to go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Riviera palette. I've had this palette for about a year and a half, and I think I've only used it like once or twice, so I really want to give it a shot today. And then over here on the drugstore side, we're going to be going in with the Profusion Spectrum palette. I have used this palette quite a few times, but it has been a little while. I think the last time I used it was back in October, so I am excited to give this another shot today. Also, you guys, if I do forget to mention anything, everything that I use today on my face will be linked down below, and I will have it listed high-end and drugstore. So I'm going to be trying to go in with the same shades that are on both of the palettes. So probably a pink and purple look today, which I'm super excited about because I don't usually use pink enough, honestly. I went ahead and primed my eye on this side with the Tarte Shape Tape. And now I want to start with the shade Bahamas, which is this bright, bright pink right here. I'm going to start with that right in my crease. I honestly really like the brushes that come with these palettes. I think they're really useful, honestly. I love them. This shade is blending out like flawlessly. It looks so beautiful and vibrant. Now I'm going to go in with Cane's, which is that dark purple. And I'm just going to start putting that right next to the pink. Purples are a little bit harder to make and a little bit harder to work with, so I always get nervous about using them. Woo, y'all, I think we are looking snatched already. These shades are blending together beautifully together, and they're blending out beautifully. I'm just obsessed so far. Alrighty, beauties, I went ahead and primed this eye with the Trublend Undercover Concealer from Covergirl. Now we're going to be going in with the Profusion Spectrum palette. I need to go ahead and get a clean brush. Give me a second. First of all, I really love how this palette has its shade names. I think that's super cute. Most drugstore palettes don't have their shade names. Well, some of them are starting to get their shade names now, but some of them don't, and I really love how this one does. This one is called Rave. I'm going in with that neon pink, making sure I don't have any creases. And I'm going to put that right in my crease just like we did the other one. This shade is blending out just as beautiful as the Anastasia palette. It is a little bit softer pressed than this one, and it has a lot more fallout than the Anastasia palette, but nonetheless, it's super pretty. It's not very patchy at all, and honestly, it almost looks like the same exact color. It's a little bit more dull than the Anastasia one, but it almost looks the exact same. You guys, I'm so shook. I mean, like, I knew this palette was good because I've used it a few times, but it's been a while, and wow, I'm really shook. It looks really, really good next to this other eye. All right, now I'm going to go in with that dark purple. This one is in the shade Rain, and again, it does have quite a bit of fallout. I don't really mind fallout, but I just like to put that in there for people that do. And you guys, purples are hard to make, so I'm a little nervous for this one. I don't think I've used the purple in this palette yet. Alrighty, beauties, this purple is super, super, super pretty. It is definitely not as pigmented as the purple from the Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. Let's put them next to each other. Let's see how close they are to each other in color. Yeah, so you can already tell that in the pan it is a little bit lighter anyways, but it is a little bit lighter than the one in this Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. It does a little bit look patchy right here and right here. I'm not sure if it's because of the concealer that I used or what, but other than that, it looks super pretty. Now I'm going to go ahead and take some of my micellar water and cut my crease. Alrighty, beauties, I went ahead and cut my crease with micellar water and my concealer. So this side with the Shape Tape and this side with the Covergirl, of course. But I really don't see much of a difference in the eyes besides the purple. Honestly, the eyes are looking so snatched. I'm here for it. And the brows are looking really snatched too. I'm quite surprised. I like this Wet n Wild brow pencil a lot more than I did the first time I used it. Now we're going to be priming the face, and I picked out two primers today that I don't really use a lot of. Well, I've used this one quite a bit, but I don't use it much anymore because I've found new primers that I'm in love with. But this is a Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Primer. We're, of course, going to be using this on our drugstore side. And then I also have the Too Faced Do You Fresh Glow Luminous Face Primer. As you can tell, I have not used much of this at all. I got this at TJ Maxx quite a bit ago, so I'm so excited to use it today. Alrighty, we're taking the Colourpop Hyaluronic Acid Primer, and I'm putting this, of course, on the drugstore side. I honestly really like this primer. I love me some hyaluronic acid, so I'll love any product with hyaluronic acid in it, probably, honestly. And it smells so good. Like, it just smells clean and refreshing. I really need to get a new one of this. I wonder if mine's expired. Now on this side, we are going in with the Do You Fresh Glow Luminous Face Primer from Too Faced. I really don't use Too Faced products as much as I used to anymore because of obvious reasons, but I do like some of their products. The Too Faced Born This Way used to be one of my favorite foundations, like, in this world, and I haven't used it in quite a long time, so you guys, we might be using it today. This primer smells straight up like a fruit bowl, straight up, like, so much scent to it, which I don't really like. I don't really like too much scent in my skincare or my primers and stuff like that. Even though I will use them, I don't like them too much. My skin isn't hella sensitive, but it is a little sensitive, so that's why I don't like to use them as much. But I love this primer. It's a little sticky, and I'm here for that because I usually go in with a pore filling primer, my Milk Blur Stick, and then I go in with a sticky primer on top of that, so I'm loving that. While we let that primer soak into our skin, I am going to go ahead and show you the foundations we're using today. Today we're going to be using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. I literally just said that we're going to be using this today, but I honestly haven't used this in quite a bit, and I only have enough in this bottle for half of my face, so it's a good way to use up the product. And then also on the drugstore side, we're going to be using the Hard Candy Glamoflauge Full Coverage Foundation. This is 16-hour wear, oil-free. I've used this quite a bit, and I actually do love it. This one is a little bit light for me, so I might have to mix it a little bit with my LA Girl Pro Mixing Pigments just to get my perfect shade. Alrighty, y'all, I'm gonna start with the Too Faced side first. Like I said, I don't have much left in this bottle, so I'm literally just gonna use the last of what I have in here. I am just blending that baby out, and honestly, I'm seeing why now I loved this foundation. Like, the coverage is beautiful. My skin looks really, really nice with this foundation on. So this is the Too Faced side all complete. What do you guys think? I think my skin looks flawless, honestly. Like, I can't complain. Now on this side, we're going in with the Hard Candy Glamoflauge foundation. Like I said, this one might be a little too light for me, but I don't really care. I'm getting a little bit more tan right now, you guys. All my foundations don't match me. I gotta go buy some new shades, okay? Don't come for me. I honestly do like this foundation. However, I do feel like it's a little drying, honestly. I just feel like it's a little drying on me. I also feel like this foundation is not as full coverage as like it claims to be, honestly. I feel like it's more buildable than it is full coverage. Like, as you can tell, this is more full coverage than this side. You can still see some of my dark spots coming through and some of my redness coming through on the Hard Candy side. I'm gonna add a little bit more. See, it definitely is more buildable to me. I don't know if you guys have tried this foundation, you guys let me know how you feel about it. Is it more full coverage for you, or is it buildable for you? Because for me, it seems more buildable, because now look, it looks more full coverage just with that second layer. Now it's time for one of my favorite steps in makeup, which is the concealer. Of course, we're going to be going in with the same concealers as before, the Tarte Shape Tape and the Covergirl Trublend Undercover Concealer. I feel like this is such a dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. I feel like these are so similar to each other, it's not even funny. I don't remember if I told you guys the shades or not, but this one is in the shade Fair Neutral. You guys, I can't go without putting concealer on my nose. I always have to highlight, like, I've always highlighted the same spots my whole entire life. My chin, my nose, my forehead, and then right under my eyes. Like, I've never ever switched it up, ever. I don't know if you're supposed to highlight anywhere else, but that's where I highlight at. We're gonna start blending this in. I can already tell that this one is a little bit darker than my Covergirl one. The Covergirl one is in the shade, I believe, Fair. Yeah, Fair. But this one is a little bit darker than that one, but you can't really tell too much on camera. I love Tarte Shape Tape. I've been using Tarte Shape Tape for years. Literal years. I love Tarte Shape Tape so much, and I will always love Tarte Shape Tape, probably. Like, always. Alrighty, y'all. I'm flipping this around now, and we are going in on the other side with the Covergirl Trublend Undercover Concealer. I honestly really love this concealer as well. I've been using it for quite a while now. I definitely feel like the coverage is like pretty much the same on these concealers. Like, they're pretty much the same. The Trublend Undercover Concealer is a little bit more drying than the Tarte one. So for my dry beauties, you know, you might want to hydrate or try a different one. I know Covergirl has another concealer, and it's like a hydro one, and it's not very full coverage. I have not tried that one yet, but if you guys would like a little review on it, I might do one on TikTok, so let me know. Alrighty, beauties, what do we think, though? I think my makeup looks really good right now. I can't really tell too much of a difference besides those purples. Again, like, I think it looks flawless. Now it is time to set, and today on this side we're going to be going in with Marc Jacobs Finish Line Setting Powder. This one is in the shade Invisible. And on the drugstore side, we're going to be using my Holy Grail, which is the Airspun Translucent Setting Powder. I have been using this since I was in high school. I love this stuff so freaking much. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I really do love it, and I think this will always be a staple in my collection. When I'm setting my under eyes, I really like to use this little puff, and I think this one is from Physicians Formula, like from one of their little powders or something, but you could probably get these little puffs from anywhere. But I just like to take the puffs like this, and I'm going in with my Airspun first. Sorry, I didn't show you guys that. I'm going in with my Airspun first, and I almost put it on the high-end side, but I didn't. I stopped myself. We're going in on this side with the Covergirl concealer right under it. I love this setting powder so much. A lot of people don't like it because of like flashback and stuff like that, but I've never really had a problem with it. And then on this side, I'm going to be going in with the Marc Jacobs Finish Line setting powder. This one is in the shade Invisible, and this one is a little yellow on me. I'm not going to lie, but the setting powder is super pretty. I feel like it makes my under eyes look super flawless. So I'm going in with the opposite end of that, and I'm going in here. You can definitely see that it's a little bit more yellow than the Airspun, but the finish of this setting powder is super gorgeous. I'm realizing this is going to be one long video. You guys better buckle up. I am so sorry. Now it is time to bronze up the skin, and on this side I'm going to be going in with the Makeuprevolution Mega Bronzer in the shade O2 Warm. They sent me this in a PR package, and I have not yet used it, so I'm super excited to go in with that today. And then on the high-end side, I'm going to be going in with the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Bronzer. I used to use this every single day when I did my makeup, and I loved this bronzer so freaking much. I have not used it in quite a long time, so I wanted to dive back into it today. I'm going to be starting with the Too Faced bronzer first. This side is looking flawless. We're going in with the Makeuprevolution bronzer. Woo! This one is a little bit darker, but she's blending out nicely. She's blending out nicely. I was scared for a minute, but she's good. She's good. I freaking love a good warm tone bronzer. Like, it's just so gorgeous. I love a good warm tone bronzer. Real quick, before we do the blush, I'm going to go ahead and jump off camera and finish the under eyes. All I'm really going to do is put the purples from both shades and the pink from both shades on my bottom lash line. Now it is time to go in with blush, and on this side we're going to go in with the Pool Party Blush Trio from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and on this side we're going to go in with the Believe Beauty Born to Blush in the shade Wink. If y'all know me, y'all know I love me some blush. I love blush. I go ham on it sometimes. You already know this. Like, it's bad. I love blush, but that's just who I am, okay? I'm going to be going in with this shade all the way over here, which is in the shade Cash. And this is honestly a really beautiful blush trio. I got this one at TJ Maxx as well. If you can't tell, I love TJ Maxx. But I got this at TJ Maxx a while back, and I really do love it. And I love how they have like a lighter blush, a darker blush, and a peachy blush in here. Like, it's just so nice. And this one even has some sparkle reflect in it if you want some sparkle in your blush. But just look how beautiful this is. That is the most beautiful peachy blush ever. Now I might look a little wonky because we're going in with two different blush shades, but I don't really care. I wanted to go in with these blushes today because I don't use them enough, and I honestly really do love these blushes. This one is in the shade Wink, and it's from Believe Beauty. Believe Beauty, y'all. If you haven't tried them, you need to go to your local Dollar General and pick up some Believe Beauty. Their foundation is literally like $4 or $5, and it is full coverage, matte, and just gorgeous. Like, it's one of the best drugstore foundations I have ever used. And actually, another beauty influencer here on YouTube that actually lives not too far away from me, her name is Miss Paige Corin. She got me hooked on Believe Beauty. I watch her videos all the time, and she talks about Believe Beauty all the time, and she would always rave about their foundation. So one day I went to Dollar General, and I literally just got a full face of Believe Beauty, and I've actually done a full face of Believe Beauty on my channel if you guys want to check that out. Before I go any further in my makeup, I usually like to go in with setting spray at this point because I like to put my highlighter on after setting spray. I feel like it's a little bit more blinding and it makes it stick to my skin a little bit better. On the drugstore side, we're going to be going in with my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. I absolutely love this setting mist. I've been through bottles and bottles of this setting mist. It's always going to be a staple for me. And then on the high-end side, we're going to be going in with the Tarte Stay Spray. I've only been using this for a couple weeks now. As you guys know, my last video was trying a full face of Tarte, and they sent me over this. And I've actually been loving this so much. I understand why it's one of their best sellers now. I guess I'm going to take the palette and just like divide my face. And this side, we're going to go in with this setting spray. This is the Tarte Stay Spray. I honestly really love the mister on this. At first I was a little scared because I get a little scared with bottles like this, but the mist is very fine when it comes out. Now, if you don't like very heavily scented products on your skin, or it just gives you a headache, then you probably won't like this because the smell of this is pretty strong. And on this side, we're going to be going in with the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist, like I said before. And my sprayer is a little messed up on this one because when I was moving around with my makeup, it popped off. But I really do love this setting spray so much. I've been using it for such a long time. I really need to get a new bottle of it because I love it. Now it is time for a highlighter. I love me some highlighter, y'all. On this side, we're going to be going in with the Artist Couture Purple Dream highlighter. And then on this side, we're going to be going in with the Wet n Wild X Bretman Rock highlighter, the Jungle Rock highlighter. I'm gonna go in with this shade Lioness. I freaking love Wet n Wild, and I freaking love Bretman Rock. When I first saw this collection coming out, I think it was like last year or the year before, I literally screamed. I freaking love Bretman Rock so freaking much, and this highlighter, it is so gorgeous. Artist Couture literally has some of the most blinding highlighters I have ever seen. They're loose highlighters, so you gotta be easy with them because a little goes a long way, but just look. Woo! Oh, the shine. The shine is everything. You guys, I promise we are getting to the end, okay? I promise. I'm going in now with my mascara. On the high-end side, we're going in with the Milk Kush Mascara. I love this mascara so much. And on this side, we're going in with my Pixi Large Lash Mascara, and I absolutely love this mascara too. This mascara, y'all, is so freaking bomb. Mine's probably running out, and I probably need a new one, but nonetheless, look how gorgeous. It just makes your lashes look so fluffy and beautiful. I already know that I'm running out of this mascara because I've been using it since like December or November time, and I use the crap out of this mascara because it is so beautiful. Lips is gonna be like the hardest part because now I have to find lip colors that match each other, kind of. Okay, y'all, it took a few swatches, but I think I found the ones that are gonna match each other the most. So on the Drugstore side, I'm gonna be using the Believe Beauty Velvet Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Foxy. And then on this side, I'm gonna be using a Tarteist lip paint in the shade Bestie. I absolutely suck at doing my lips, and I am not gonna be talking during this time. She is looking so cute. I really do love the Tarteist lip paint so much. They are a little drying, but they are super pretty. Now I'm going in with the Believe Beauty. The colors are a little different, but nonetheless, they both look super beautiful. Okay, beauties, I really don't have any high-end pair of lashes, so I'm just gonna pop off camera and pop on a pair of my favorite lashes from LaushandCo. These ones are in the style Angel Wings, and you guys can also use my code SAVE15 on her website for money off. Alrighty, beauties, I know my hair looks a little rough. It's humid here. I live in Florida, okay? But the makeup today, it looks so dang cute. What do you guys really think about it? The only true difference I can see in my makeup today is the eyeshadow. Like, the Profusion eyeshadows definitely aren't as pigmented as the Anastasia ones, and you can definitely tell the difference in the purples. Not so much the pinks, but definitely the purples. This was honestly such a fun video to film and such a different thing for me to film. And huge thank you to my girl, Just Sheet Mask, Amy, for this idea again. I had so much fun filming it. I cannot wait to do drugstore versus indie brands, or indie brands versus high-end makeup. That's gonna be so fun as well. If you beauties made it through this whole entire video, please leave me a little pink heart in the comments so that I know that you were here to stay. And I love you guys so much for the endless support and love, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, beauties.